What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. So this is a brand new series that I'm doing, and the concept of the series is to go through all of the dungeons that people are usually farming to make gold and talk about why people are farming it, because there's a lot of people out there that are doing certain dungeons, but they don't really fully understand why people are doing it and what you can potentially get from that dungeon. And there might be a lot of information in these videos that's causing you to farm a dungeon that you wouldn't necessarily farm. Or the other way around. Maybe you're farming a dungeon, but after watching one of these videos in this series, you're not going to farm it anymore. So that's the concept. Please let me know what you think about this video idea in the comment section down below. I fully realize that some of my frequent viewers already know everything about every single dungeon, but that's not the average guy watching my YouTube videos, though. So hopefully there's going to be a lot of helpful information in this series. And we're going to start it off by talking about why people are farming Scarlet Monastery. Before we do so, though, massive thank you for all the support on the 0 to 10 million gold guide. This gold guide features all the best tactics and methods that I personally use in order to achieve hundreds of millions of gold. The best part about the gold guide is the fact that it gets updated for life completely for free. So whenever there's a new patch to the game or a brand new expansion, I update the exact same gold guide and I send that updated version to your email completely for free. So grab it with the link down below in the description. Use the discount code STUDENT for 50% off. And if you already have the gold guide, you should definitely consider joining the VIP Discord. It's filled with people that enjoy the same stuff as we enjoy, making gold. Once you join in, you get a bunch of exclusive benefits like being able to watch all of these YouTube videos before everyone else when they go live on YouTube. You also get exclusive access to spreadsheets, investments, gold tips, and much, much more. But that will also be linked down below in the description. So, Scarlet Monastery, first, we got to talk about the loot. Like, the why are people farming it? What items are they after? And to do so, we can look at the infographic and then we can zoom in on the loot table B of Scarlet Monastery, where you can see like the world drop green items that drops, and they're actually quite bad. It's nothing that we really care about at all. We care about the Scarlet Monastery unique items. And if you haven't farmed Scarlet Monastery in a while, or you watch one of my older videos on Scarlet Monastery, it's important to give you guys an update that Scarlet Monastery no longer drops the high tier of epic items, which like should have been fixed ages ago. But for many years we could farm Scarlet Monastery and we would obtain the high tier epics. And what I mean by that is like the highest level epics in the classic expansion, like Skull Flame Shield. You could farm Scarlet Monastery and they would for years drop Skull Flame Shields, Cloudkeeper leg plates, Destiny, like a bunch of items that they shouldn't drop at all. That seemed to be fixed when Blizzard like gave us access to the old Scarlet Monastery wings, which we will talk about in this video as well. But you care about the Scarlet Monastery unique items, the items that are specific to Scarlet Monastery and can only be obtained inside of Scarlet Monastery. And there's a lot of items on this list. Some of them are like really bad. Some of them are mediocre, while some of them are considered what we like to call super items, because they're that hard to get and they have that high of a value as well. And we're going to take a look at some of the examples on those items, which would be something like the Sliver Blade. Very hard item to get, worth a lot of gold. We also have the Fight Club. It's worth literally millions. I've never had it in my life. But it's really good. We have the Swamp Chill Fetish. We also have like the Archon chest piece. There's going to be different item levels on this. You see there's one right here that says 286,000 gold. If we check on it, there's 2 available on EU. But if we take a look at where they're posted at, you can see that the cheapest one is going to be 800,000 gold. And then we also have the flint rock shoulders. They're also very hard to get and very valuable. And we have always had the scarlet blue items in the game, which means we've always had the scarlet boots and we've always had the scarlet chest piece. But what's new with the wings opening is that we also have access to the scarlet bracers, the scarlet gloves, etc., and also the belts, but they're not that valuable. They sold instantly for a fortune the day Blizzard enabled us to do the old wings. But right now, they're at the point where they're almost worthless. They're not really good at all. And that's just like some of the items of interest out of like this entire list. You can see you have more items, like you have the Steel Claw Reaver, Wind Reaver Staff, the Tainted Pears. There's a lot of decent item from Scarlet Monastery. Now, I talked about the old wings of Scarlet Monastery, and that's this keychain right here. Because if you haven't played Scarlet Monastery in a while, you haven't seen this old keyring hanging on the wall right here. So this is how it was before Blizzard opened up the old wings, where you could run right here into Cathedral, the west wing, and then you could run into the east wing right here, which is library, and that's it. Like, these doors are locked. Now, if you obtain the Scarlet Key, which I'm going to show you guys, you can buy it on the auction house or you can obtain it yourself, but most people, they would just go on the auction house and they would purchase the Scarlet Key. You can buy this one. Once you get it, it's going to be added to your key ring, so you don't need to actually hold it in your bags. But once you have that Scarlet Key, you can click on this keychain right here, this bad boy, and then you'll get this buff, the Scarlet Key, which we can see opens up the doors to all of the old Scarlet Monastery wings. So really cool. And that also opened up some of those items as I told you guys about, meaning that you can farm more items, and more items were available than we've been able to farm in the past. However, though, those items also happen to be very, very easy to obtain, so they didn't hold value very well. However, though, all these old wings have the loot table that we were just talking about of these super items, and the density of these wings is really good, as you can see. So it's definitely something that you want to run. But if you run, like right now, I'm running a library. If you're running that, it's a very short wing. You're going to get locked out from the dungeon very quickly. So there's a trick to that as well. I just wanted to show you guys this strong box behind the boss, which you can farm the Scarlet Key quite easily. You can see I paid 50,000 gold for it back in the days because I couldn't get it. Because you can only farm this key if you have access to the old wings already. If you don't, you have to obtain it through the Hallows End Halloween event through the loot-filled pumpkin. But that's why they're so accessible and cheap now, because everyone that has access can farm these keys. So that's like a nice income once you open up the wings as well. But what I want to talk about in terms of getting locked from the dungeons is the fact that all of the wings share the same instance lockout. So what you want to do is, or what I do is that I run multiple wings before I reset the dungeons, meaning that you could do all 4 wings and then you click reset instance, and you're only going to reset 1 out of 10 instances. So I do like all of the short wings. You have time to run like armory, library, and also graveyard right here, and then click reset instance, and you can just run that on repeat. 3 dungeon runs, which means in an hour you would have done 30 wings of Scarlet Monastery. So you never get locked out of the dungeon. You can farm it for hours upon hours. You don't have to wait for the dungeon or the instances to reset again. So really, really cool, that one. That being said, though, and something we need to talk about is the fact that this is not a dungeon that's considered good in terms of filling up the auction house, because the world drop loot table just isn't there. That's all of the best dungeons to fill up the auction house if you're new to gold farming. All of the good dungeons are dungeons with a very good world drop loot table, because you're getting a bunch of green items like constantly, but it doesn't matter if the green items are all bad, right? And that's the case with Scarlet Monastery. Like 99% of all green items are bad and something that you don't really even want to keep. So it's not a good dungeon in terms of that. However, it's one of the best dungeon in terms of like high value super items. It's a dungeon that I would much rather do instead of something like Old Man, which a lot of people are farming. So I definitely think that Scarlet Monastery has a place in your dungeon rotation for transmog farming. I just wouldn't start out by doing Scarlet Monastery because there's so many other like dungeons out there with a good loot table of world drops. I also in this series want to talk about the potential of making steady gold, but in Scarlet Monastery that is pretty non-existing. I guess the most steady way of gold you're going to be making that actually makes sense would be to sell the Scarlet Keys, right? But that's pretty much it for Scarlet Monastery. So I'm super excited to continue this series because I do think that there's a lot of information for a lot of the dungeons that people aren't really aware of or thinking about when they're doing the farm. So stay tuned for those videos. Make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel if that's something you want to see. And I will see you all back in at tomorrow's video. But don't forget to check out the 0 to 10 million gold guide alongside with the VIP Discord if you already have the gold guide. And I'll see you all back in at tomorrow's video. Until then, bye-bye.